My name's Kellen Martinez. First day I found out, Amanda, his girlfriend, called me and told me that his kidneys stopped working. And I was kind of just in disbelief at first. And I remember I just needed to find a way to get up there because I had no money or really anything. So it just so happened that his Aunt Lois was driving up. Luckily enough, his parents, Chuck and Jenny, let me sleep in the hotel rooms with them. So, sharing beds with Chuck one night. Two of our other friends, Ryan and David, that came from Utah, we all shared one bed too one night. So I went to a lot of doctor's appointments and learned how to do the peritoneal dialysis so that we could help him out with that. I was ready to give him my kidney in Santa Cruz. he asked me a lot that if I was sure, and if I was absolutely sure that I wanted to do it, and that he'd understand if I didn't. But I was sure. It was just a lot of testing, a lot of giving blood. Became pretty much a professional at giving blood after a while. I remember the first time that I gave the blood, I almost fainted. I think it was only like 5 vials or something like that. By the end I was given 20 vials, not even worried about it. So, but it was a lot of work making sure that all my organs were working well. It seemed like it kind of delayed it a little bit because some enzymes from my liver were high for a little while, so they were really doing a lot of testing for my liver. But everything worked out in the end. The day of the surgery, pretty much got there, signed in, took us back, and then it seems like after that they put me to sleep. And then I was waking up next to some hot nurse without a kidney. So.
Yeah, when he went back, actually, they sent me back downstairs, and I was sitting in the waiting room, hanging out with everybody, waiting for them to call me back. When they finally did, they still hadn't had his kidney out yet, but they were getting close, they said. And it seemed like they ran an IV in my hand, and then it just seemed like things kind of went pretty quick from there, and I was out of nowhere, I was asleep. My surgery went pretty quick. It was about 2.5 hours. They were able to put the kidney in, successfully, and it worked immediately. Kellen gave up a big, healthy, pink, vibrant kidney. So I am forever grateful.
Yeah, I just remember when I was laying in my hospital bed, and they came in and told me that it started working immediately, and that was just the most relieved I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Probably the best news I could have ever heard. So
That's good. Kellen wheeled himself up to my floor in a wheelchair the day after surgery. I came into my room. It was the first time I'd seen him since the surgery. And I pretty much just broke down. I was just in tears. Everybody was in the room. It was emotional. It was a good experience. We were all pretty thrilled that the kidney it took right away. And they had warned us in the beginning that it's not always does the kidney take right away. Sometimes it needs some time to kind of kickstart itself. So we were prepared for that, but hearing the news that it just pretty much immediately it started working was probably the best news we'd heard in a long time. Everybody kind of came into our room. They did a ceremony for Kellen to honor the donor. They said that our situation was pretty unique because not often does a man give up his kidney. More often than not, it's it's usually a woman, and it's usually to her spouse. Unfortunately, a lot of times men aren't healthy enough to give up a kidney. You know, Kellen was in great shape. His organs, everything was working fantastic, and they wanted to kind of commemorate the the experience and the situation. Before I went into renal failure, I think we both were partying a lot. We were both drinking a lot. You know, we're young, so we were eating pretty much whatever we wanted. We didn't really have any regulations or anything. And that pretty much came to an immediate halt when I went into renal failure. And it changed my life forever.
Definitely stopped drinking. I used to smoke. Stopped smoking.
I feel lucky to have a second chance at life.
So it's just made me think a lot more about my decisions and the consequences of what I do and how that affects not only myself and my physical well-being, but also the others that love me.
You know, when you're young, you don't really think about the decisions you make, how it's going to affect you in the long run. So it's really given me a different perspective on life. When we went to one of Kellen's workups he had a blood draw and some testing, I remember Amanda and I sitting in the waiting room with his parents, and his mom told me that I'm saving Kellen's life just as much as he's saving mine. And it really put things into perspective for me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I was probably headed down a pretty bad road.